What is good, my people, my peeps, and good morning. So, I always say that I'm not going to be on here for long, but sometimes there's something that's on my heart that just needs to flow. And so it might flow, and I may be on here a short period of time, and I may be on here just, a little long, a little time. I might give it a little time today. So, Houston, we have a problem. Is the title. And the new, what did I call it? ABLBM, the new alphabet crew. And I'll get into that in a little bit. And God's timing. God's timing. I was on here a couple of days ago feeling just almost just saddened by the black men that have been altered. Yes, I say altered. Their way of thinking. The black men that have been part of the gang stalking, right? At least part of my gang stalking. And I know I have heard, black men say black women are part of their gang stalking. So I said, okay, there's something deeper going on here, and I want to get into it. But before I get into all of that, I also, in the title, spoke on God's timing. God's timing, the Most High's timing for you in your life, dealing with persecution. Some that are not in the faith or practice the faith, um, and they're being gang stalked, they're being community harassed, they're being surveilled, may not understand that this is part of a persecution as well. And this was going to happen. And so when I was looking into why the black men in the community, a lot of them have chosen to be a part of, community harassment, groups of men who seem to have fallen in love with men. And I was on these social media streets and I had saw, hello, Tony. I had saw some videos, and it was of black women having a conversation, and so they did an experiment, a social experiment, and they were going around and they were asking black men a question. They were asking them if they were in a relationship with their significant other, and their boy, they had, guy friends. If something happened with their guy friend doing something, it could be illegal, it could be cheating or something of that nature, or their significant other, be it their wife, their girlfriend, if something happened along the lines of the significant other doing something and they had to snitch, they had to tell on one or the other, who would they tell on? And or who would they protect? And the overwhelming consensus to the social experiment was they would snitch on their wife. They would snitch on their significant other and protect their homeboys or their guy friends. And so after this experiment had taken place, this social experiment, it seems as if the overwhelming feeling that people are getting is men are more in love with men than they are in love with women in their lives. And they have forgotten their first purpose here. their first purpose, and that is you have a mate. I know a lot of us as chosen ones, as targeted individuals, we feel that we don't have a mate. We don't have someone that we can actually or will actually be able to ever be in a relationship with. But that is untrue, because we know, if you're a believer, that when the Most High God created this realm, He created man and woman to procreate. That is our first purpose here. Okay, and so it has switched with the man's concept, their thinking of wanting to, and I'm referring to the social experiment that just took place, wanting to protect men instead of protecting their spouse and or their girlfriend. Um, these men of today have there has been a switch in their minds of blood bros before, 304s. Um, there's a switch that has taken place. And when I did my video earlier this week, and I was feeling like, goodness, what is going on with, and I'm speaking on my experience, from my experience, because that's what I can speak on, and then I can touch on just in general what's going on in the world. But with my experience, I have been seeing a lot of black men in gang stalking, and I couldn't understand how black men would want to gang stalk, especially women and especially black women. And so I'm starting to understand, if there is more of a loyalty towards men, black men having more of a loyalty towards black or men in general, where they would rather snitch on their spouse and protect their bros, then that's why you will see a lot of men. Even if you're of another race, you might see the same men or women of your race gang stalking you. There's a loyalty that has been created. And so when I had talked in my videos in the last days, there are women. And I when I said this, I thought it was in the Bible, but it's actually in the Apocrypha. If anybody reads the Apocrypha or the Bible, that in the last days, women would be birthing forth monsters. Okay, there goes the choppers. They're low. Um, that women would be bringing forth monsters in the last days, and when when the word was written before and translated it for us to understand, and then we had preachers preaching or teaching. First of all, this book was taken out of the Bible. Okay, the Apocrypha. Anybody can want to see that. This was removed, so this wasn't even taught on. Only the elites studied this and studied other books of the Bible that are still hidden in the Vatican, in the basement of the Vatican, and the Dead Sea Scrolls and things of that nature. So in the Apocrypha, I was going to just bring forth the message of women birthing forth monsters, meaning that in the last days, women are going to have children that are going to be monsters. These are going to be people who terrorize. You understand? Terror, gang stalking, hunting down, surveillance of other people. But these people actually think that they're in their right minds. Menstruating women will have babies that are part of a system of terror. Okay? And so I want to bring forth that. But as I was reading that, I went up to the first chapter, the verse in chapter 5. So this is Ezra chapter 5, and I'm just going to read some in chapter 1. I'm going to skip around, guys, so I want y'all to see it's highlighted. If you have an Apocrypha, I want you to, just pick it up so that you can understand what was written is definitely coming to pass. Okay. So, like I said, I wanted to bring forth about the monster situation. But before I bring that forth, there's a time clock, and we know that the trumps have to sound, the seven seals have to break. And every time in Revelations, those seals are breaking, different different events are taking place, and with these different events are the build up to the Most High coming back. And they know that the Most High is coming back because a lot of things are happening that may appear to the rest of the world as unreal, or they may not understand it, or they may not even listen to you. Okay, the rest of the world may be only listening to people who are popular, who are yes, popular. In our society, we tend to believe that people who have popularity, people who have the numbers behind them, they're the truth tellers. Okay, those are the people who are telling the truth. But let's remember when Jesus walked on this earth, when Yahweh Shai walked here, he only had 12 disciples. Okay, there was not a huge following when he walked and preached, and he left this earth young at the age of 33. Okay, so when you get so wrapped up into having followers and thinking the more followers that a person has, that they are actually preaching and teaching the truth, when they could be leading you down the broad way, not the narrow way. Okay, and the people that are telling you in the way that the Most High has blessed them to deliver a message, you may consider that message to be um, out of the ordinary. Uh, Yet and still, they're bringing you the message directly from the word of the Most High. And if people are bringing you messages that are not from the word, then you should be skeptical of those messages. Okay, you should be skeptical. So I want to just get you guys into this word right quick about administrating women. But before I do, this is coming out of Second Ezra, chapter 5. Nevertheless, as concerning tokens, behold, the day shall come that thy which dwell upon the earth shall be taken in great numbers, and away truth shall be hidden. Okay, a lot of people think that taken away is raptured up, right? A lot of people believe the rapture is going to happen, but that it never said in the Bible about the rapture. So if you want to understand taken away in the Bible, it tells you when you know that the Most High is coming back, it's going to be as the days of Noah. Things are going to be happening that happened in the days of Noah. And this is what struck me. And I wasn't even going to go into this, but when I read this, I said, well, I have to bring forth this message to you all. And you take it with a grain of salt, but just hear me out. I want to read that one more time. Nevertheless, as concerning the tokens, behold, the day shall come, taken in great numbers away, the truth shall be hidden. So right here it's saying a lot of people are going to die, not taken away in heaven, because when Noah kept telling people there is rain coming, and people never saw rain, they never understood what rain was, because they got their water from rivers, fresh lakes, and dew. Rain never fell from the heavens. So, as you can imagine, we have not seen the sky break open, right? And the chariots of the Most High flood this earth yet. So when we keep telling people that is going to happen, a lot of people do not believe this is going to be so. So this is the same as Noah saying, prepare, prepare. I am getting an ark together and I'm preparing because danger, the Most High is getting ready to flood this plain. And he preached this for years, not just 1 year. Okay, it took a while for Noah to build that ark with his family. And as he built that ark, he spread the word that danger was coming, that a new shift was coming. Okay, so when you read about Noah and when the rains finally started to flood the earth and people started banging on the ark, wanting to get in, but they were taken. Okay, taken does not mean what people have told you or these movies have suggested to you, taken away, taken up into heaven. No, they were taken, meaning they died. Okay, so in Ezra 2, chapter 5, many people are going to die. We have been talking about famine, and not just the famine of you not being able to eat, but famine of the word. Okay, this is what Ezra is talking about here. Second Ezra, what it's talking about. A lot of people are getting ready to perish. Okay, and some people just would rather hear it as the New World Order is coming, the population control. And that's just a twist from what the Bible and the Most High has already told you. He's already told you. A lot of people are going to be taken away, as in the days of Noah. See, the men and the devil that see this is his kingdom right now. Okay, and they think that they're running things and they're putting into place um, sicknesses. Okay, now we know we had a sickness that just came and it was global. And then we have these pox that are out, these monkey pox that are out. Um, a lot of these things are generated in a lab, but what they're trying to do is control the population themselves. And the Most High God is allowing this because many will be taken, many will die because you have not heeded the word of the Most High. Okay, so, and I'm reading this, I'm going to get to the menstruating women. Okay, so many will be taken in great numbers. That means many will be killed, many will die, and the truth shall be hidden. So, good morning, Pat. Good morning. And so, oops. And so, there we go. And the truth shall be hidden. And the truth is being hidden slowly. Um, it's gonna come to the point where the book of Enoch, that movie that you all seen with Denzel Washington in it, the book of Enoch, where the main subject of that movie was the Bible. The main subject of that movie was Denzel Washington having the Bible and trying to get the Bible from one point to another point to safety because evil men wanted to get their hands on the Bible because the Bible had been wiped off the earth. Okay, guys, the faith and the word had been taken away. We know that the movies tell you what the Bible has already told you because the devil is a copycat. Okay, so that is going to happen. You and I who preach the truth and try to not, Lord help me, let me not say preach, but spread the message of the Most High. These days are going to be over. These platforms are taking people out left and right, okay? And that's why I say, don't just think of people and their platforms as being solely truth tellers because they have a large platform. they may be having a large platform. They may be leading people straight to hell, straight on that broad way. So you have to be diligent in knowing what the truth is. Okay. And I'm gonna pull y'all's comments up in a few minutes after I'm finished, guys. So a lot of people are going to die. Okay. And we know that because several people have died from that global global virus, okay, that just took hold not too long ago and is revving up again along with the monkeypox. Okay. So then I'm going to go down to chapter 5, verse 2. But iniquity shall be increased above that which now thou seest, or thou that hasn't heard long ago. So sins are going to increase like never before. Iniquity is going to increase like never before. People we tell on these channels about gang stalking, about community harassment, they don't understand it. They don't want to hear it. They don't even believe you. These programs are just going to get bust wide open, and everybody's going to see persecution. Everybody. Well, let me take that back. Everybody that is in the truth is going to see the real persecution. Everybody that we've been trying to warn about what's going on and what's happening to us are going to see it as well. And they're going to feel it in a different way. Okay? Let me say it like that. Because they might not have the protective hedge around them. See, a lot of you all as chosen, you all as TIs, you must realize that you have a protective hedge around you because you are still here. Everything they do, if the Most High God feels fit for it to be your time to go, then it's your time to go. And we know that it is truly a hard road to hoe when you are trying to make it day to day. And people know of your strengths and they still persecute you in every aspect of your life, from your finances to every aspect, okay? And yet and still, you stand, okay? You are still here because the Most High wants you here. And you may be in prison. You may be in certain places, but you have to remember, if you know anything about the Bible, the word of the Most High, most of the disciples went to prison. Okay? Uh, uh, some of them were put in isolation in different prisons on islands. Okay? So just because you may be in prison, you may be in a place in your life that you're like, why am I here? But you still have the faith and like a mustard seed. You may not have been walking that life all of your life, but you have come into contact with someone who put that word into you as a young child, or maybe as you gotten older in your life, you've come more and more into the truth, but you're still here because the Most High wants you here. Okay? Think about a lot of us are still here and never got a vaccination, never got any of that. But there has been more and more morphing and changing of this global pandemic. This sickness has morphed and morphed. And you walk without ever having or receiving any of the deadly injection, okay, that was stated that was going to help you, that was going to save you. But now you're seeing the repercussions of people who have taken that poison, people who drank the Kool-Aid, you see. You're starting to see the repercussions of that because it's starting to hit them in the economy. There's pilots that they fired who wouldn't take the poison, who wouldn't drink the Kool-Aid, you see. And now the pilots that drank the Kool-Aid, that got the injection, well, you see, they're unfit to fly now. So you have cancellations across the world of flights because you don't have enough pilots. They drank the Kool-Aid. Many will be taken away slowly. So just because you're going through your persecution right now, and it's hard, you are truly going through the fire, wherever you may be, in whatever situation you may be in. And let them marvel at everything they do to try to take you down, but you still stand because you have the protection of the Most High. And when the Most High reveals his people, oh, how they will shake. Oh, how they will shake. Let me continue. And the land that thou seest now to have root, shall thou see it wasted suddenly. Guys, when I read this chapter, I came here to talk about menstruating women. But when I'm reading this, how we see the land that has root, meaning that farmlands that they have destroyed. Come on with me. I hope that you are following. I hope that you are picking up what I'm putting down. The farmlands that these people have destroyed, you suddenly, you see, sometimes we as people that have been taught the word or have been thought we knew the word, right? Think that you're going to see something as in biblical times, and that's going to happen. But Most High uses people as well. Suddenly the lands are not producing the root, the fruit, okay? Because you have to have that root to go into the land to push up that tree that bear apples, you know, your corn, your wheat, all of these products that suddenly have failed. Are you following me? It's speaking to you right here because we are in this time. We are in this time right now. Suddenly, out of nowhere, your prices in your grocery stores, they're skyrocketing because they're saying, the economy, and they can't get the fruits and the grains and the wheat, right? Because of the wars in Ukraine and all of these things that are happening, and the trade, embargoes that are happening. Suddenly, we can't get the foods that we used to get at reasonable prices. I've seen on some social medias, if you eat bologna and things like that, bologna costing $7, almost $8 for bologna. Now, I know back in the day when you might not have been poor, but you might have been just making it. Bologna was the way. You used to fry some bologna and slice the doggone middle of the bologna. Once it started to puff up, you put that slice in it and brown the edge. Bologna got you through. Bologna was always 99 cents. You don't hear me though. $1 if it got higher. Bologna at the price of $7.99. Come on. Suddenly, you won't have roots. Okay, guys? Come on, Ezra. Let's go. This is 2nd Ezra, chapter 5, and I'm on verse 3. And the land thou seest now to have roots shalt thou see it wasted suddenly. Okay, so that's what we were just talking about. But now this is talking about if you still around, and a lot of us are still around. Okay, but if the Most High grant thee to live, thou shalt see after the third trump. Now, I want to break this down. There's supposed to be 7 trumpets that sound before the Most High comes back. 7 trumpets, 7 seals. Each time they break, a trump sounds, okay? So they coincide. Once the trump sounds, the seal breaks, and then whatever's in that seal, that is what's going to happen, and the horsemen and all that rides out, all of that. So we know we are past the third seal. Okay, guys? So you're in this day, is what I want you to understand. You are in this day. We are past the third seal. Okay? But if the Most High grants thee to live, thou shalt see after the third trump that shall summon. Wait a minute. The third trump that the sun shall suddenly shine again in the night, and the moon thrice in the day. I did a video, and you can go on my timeline, and I might show it, where people were freaking out. And I believe it was in New York City. People were freaking out because the sunlight kept coming back in and out, in and out, in and out. Now, in that video, in the title, I believe, is this blue beam? Hold on, let me see. I don't know if I kept it. Oh no, it's on my timeline. I said, is this blue beam? The sun kept going in and out, and people, grown men was running. And I told you, when things come upon this earth, men will faint. They won't be running. They're gonna faint. Okay? Is it blue beam, or is it because we know they have technology, right? That will create different things that are supposed to come in the sky as well. So let me try to get that really quick. I want you guys to see that video, so you'll understand right here where it says in 2nd Ezra chapter 3 that the sun shall suddenly shine again in the night. Hold on, let me see. That was a video. Turn this around so you guys can see this really quick, because I don't just like to be bumping my gums here. I should have had this queued up so you guys could see it. Chosen one. Hold on, let me check this out now. Because things are happening, and people, here we go. Let's see. Let me turn you guys around real quick, and then you guys can see this really quick. And we're in 2nd Ezra chapter 5, verse 3. And suddenly the sun will show in the night. So let me get camera. Turn this to the back. Okay. So if you guys, I don't know if you got a chance to see this video. Oh, what the fuck? Oh, the sky is fucking blue. And then it turned off. No. I got that on camera. I got that on camera. Feds just went that way. So hold on, since it's so short, close that. Play this one more again while I read Ezra. 2nd Ezra chapter 5, verse, let's see, this was in verse 4. But if the Most High grant thee to live, thou shalt see the third trump, and the sun shall suddenly shine again in the night sky, and the moon thrice in the day. God. Oh my goodness. I don't need your help. I don't need your help. They love some commercials, don't they? We don't want you, homeboy. We wasn't trying to pull you up, okay? Let's get back to what we were playing. Oh, what the fuck? Oh, the sky is fucking blue. And then it turned off. No. I got that on camera. I got that on camera. Feds just went that way. All right. So let me turn you guys back around. Be quiet, man. Y'all, I hope y'all ain't seeing my food I had set up for me. Okay, so here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Come back to the front camera. Thank you, sir. Thank you, whoever's controlling my camera for me. All right, guys. So, sun suddenly shining in the night. Do you think that was Blue Beam? The video that, hold on, guys. Pause for the cause, brother. That I just showed you. What do you think? What are your thoughts on that? Ezra said the sun will suddenly shine in the night, and the moon will be thrice in the daylight. 3 times the moon. We I always see the moon in the daylight. The whole moon, the moon shining in the morning, the daylight. Okay, so I thought that was interesting, and I thought that I would read that. Hello, hello. Hello. So we're going over Second Ezra and chapter 5. And I was going into Second Ezra, which is found in the Apocrypha, a book that was removed from the Bible. Okay, guys? Just like many scriptures were removed from the Bible to keep you in darkness. But I was coming here because last week I did a video. Well, earlier this week. We're finishing out this week. So I did a video talking about how I felt of my race of men gang stalking, right? And how what is going on with them, blase, blase. And then it came to me a scripture, and I thought at that time it was in the Bible of King James, because you have to go, this is King James. I don't have an old, 1600s Bible. The Apocrypha used to be in the Bible. So I thought it was here, but it actually is in here talking about menstruating women will birth monsters in these days and times. And so I'm going down because as I was reading chapter 5, I was like, oh my goodness, the things that it said in chapter 5 are happening now. And that's why I just showed you about that, the sun flashing in the night sky. Okay, so here we go. Let me see something. Also, I showed you guys video of fish running out of the oceans. Fish running toward the shore. Something chasing, let me not just say fish, sharks. And if you know anything about the food chain, you know that the food chain, there are hierarchies, okay? Sharks are predators. Sharks are at the top of the hierarchy, okay, within the food chain, being chased out of the waters, okay? Things are happening on this earth. And then I showed you another video. I don't know if anybody really caught that video of some strange sea creature that they, it looked like it was a military personnel in a chopper filming. You know, when they do top secret things, they can't film openly. So it looked like he took his camera out and was filming, and you could see some kind of creature in the ocean. And I had explained to you earlier this year of them bombing in the middle of the ocean, and we talked about a leviathan and things like that, right? Sea creatures that you've never seen before. Well, Ezra talks about that here too. And it says, and even he shall rule. Okay, because I skipped down to this. Let me get to where it talks about and the sea shall cast out fish and make noises in the night, which many have not known. Guys, I tell you, this was blowing me away. I said, oh my goodness, this is exactly what we're seeing now with these fish running out of water. Okay, so let me get down to, and that was in verse 7 about the fish. So here we go. There should be confusion also in many places, and the fire shall ought sent out against the wild beasts shall change their places. So there's going to be confusion. There's going to be these creatures coming out, and you're going to want to know, why are these strange creatures changing places? Where you probably seen sharks that weren't afraid of anything running, changing places, you understand, with other creatures that are chasing them. Come on. But y'all can read this for yourself. Changing places, and menstruating women bringing forth monsters. Menstruating women bringing forth monsters. And that brings me to my point indeed. Menstruating women bringing forth monsters, bringing forth the very people that are different, that their continent and their thinking is different. They are monsters in this day and time. Okay, guys, these are the people who you wonder, who you question, how could these type of people exist? How, to gang stalk, to harass another human being without having any empathy, and even if they don't have empathy for a person, any sympathy regarding how someone would feel. They're monsters. Menstruating women have brought forth monsters upon this earth, okay? And that is part of where you see gang stalking coming from, because there is no consciousness there. They may look like humans, they may look like you and I, but they are actually monsters. Menstruating women bringing forth monsters. And you can find that in 2nd Ezra chapter 5 verse, and that one is going to be down in verse 8 here. That's who you're seeing, menstruating women who brought forth monsters. Because we are definitely in the last time. And that's why I say, Houston, we have a problem. We definitely have a problem. And so I don't know what you all have been seeing and who has been a part of your harassment. But remember that this is definitely a spiritual awakening. And it is definitely carnal, because you're seeing the people in the flesh that are doing this gang stalking, this community harassment, and have no shame. They have no consciousness about what they're doing, because if they can go home at night and make them a sloppy Joe sandwich, or eat and have a beer, or and sleep well, just take it and understand, they're monsters. They have no kind of consciousness, because when you have a consciousness, then you have remorse, then you have a feeling of I did wrong to somebody, and you may want to change your ways. And when you don't have that, then you're dealing with spirits, and you're dealing with, like the Bible, with the 2nd Ezra says, these monsters that menstruating women have brought forth. So I talked about what I said in the title, which was, we have a problem here, Houston. Men loving men. Before I get out of here, men loving men, loyalty, and men not understanding that it wasn't in the beginning man and created on this earth, man and man. It was man and woman. But in this day and time, the loyalty, which I spoke about with this social test that they did, when they asked men if you had to rat or snitch or tell on your homeboy or your spouse or significant other, your woman, who would you rat and who would you tell on? And they said overwhelmingly men said their wife, their significant other, and their loyalty is with their homeboys, bros over 304s. And so psychologically, they are in love with men. Okay. They are in love with other men, and they're leaving behind their first assignment, their first. Um, I've always said, what is the gift that you have, and how can you, you know, activate it? How can it come to fruition for you? Your first gift, your first activation of your first gift that the Most High gave to you, it wasn't man being created and man. It was man and woman, and the first gift, their first activation of their gift was to procreate and bring forth more fruit, more children. But now you're seeing that is being left behind because the activation in the men's mind is to protect their homeboys and not the women that are in their lives. Okay. And so with that being said, I don't know if I still have my first queued up. Here we go. So I'm going to turn it around again because I know when I spoke about within my gang stalking, it's been a lot of Black men, and how that has saddened me to see that Black men would actually gang stalk Black women. But there's a deep-seated programming that has taken place within the community of Black folks, Israel, okay? And it's deep-seated with, and I'm pointing out the men, and people be like, well, why are you pointing out the Black men? Because this is the gang stalking that I have seen. You know, I do see white people. White people do gang stalk me as well. But I'm pointing out the Black people because I want you to understand and see the creation of the monsters. And this creation not only started now in the 2000s, you know, in this century, 2022, but before then, because you were made to hate yourself so deeply that this is a self-hate when it comes to Black folks hating on Black folks. The most vicious Black on Black crime is to get the Black man to hate the Black woman and seek out other women as somehow being better because it's a self-hate of your skin complexion, um, and definitely if you're darker, it seems to be a greater self-hate. So I'm gonna show you this young guy that he did an interview, and this is not the first person that I've seen who did an interview or who has. And you know what, before I show you his interview, I want to show you, this is a reenactment of the doll test. And if you guys don't know, let me clean this off. If you guys don't understand what the doll test is, it was done in I want to say, the late 70s, where they took a group of Black children and they showed pictures of dolls, or they had actual baby dolls of different levels of skin color. And they asked the Black children different questions about the baby doll. Which is the good doll? Point to it or pick up, which is the good doll? Which is the bad doll? Which doll do you want to be? Okay, and overwhelmingly, sadly, the chains that I keep trying to get my people to understand are not on you. The shackles are not literally on your arms and legs anymore. The shackles are in your mind. They have shackled your mind. okay? And it's prevalent and it's pervasive, and it has traveled throughout generations, even to the generation of today. And so, let me get this geared up because I want you to see this is a newer version of the doll test. Okay, so let me turn this around real quick to the back camera. All right, so this is the new version of the doll test.
Which one? This one. Why do you want that skin color? Because I don't know. Not sure. What do you think of that skin color? Well, it looks kind of whitish, and that's what I remember. Yeah. How about you? Why do you want that skin color? Because it looks lighter than this kind, because this looks a lot like that one. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I just don't like the way brown looks, because the way brown looks really nasty for some reason, but I don't know what reason. So you think it looks nasty? Well, not really, but sometimes. Sometimes. And Brielle, they asked what color adults don't like. Do you remember what you said? Which one? That's right, that's what you said. Why do you think adults don't like that color? Dark. Dark. And adults, do you think adults don't like dark? Maybe some adults do, but maybe some of them don't. And then which was the ugly child?
So show me the smart child. Okay, why is she the smart child?
Because she was frightened.
Okay. Show me the mean child. Okay, why is she the mean child?
Because she's way darker.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to stop that right here. And I'm going to go to the interview of a young rapper who was talking about lyrics in a rap song. And we have to understand that lyrics are as singing cursive in your verses, okay? And let me get to him. And let's cue this up.
I ain't gonna lie. What he say? I'm already black. I don't need no black bitch.
Right, that's what he said.
Oh, yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I can't have no cut. Like, I know if I'm fucking with you, I'm black as fuck, right? I'm black as shit.
Yeah, black is beautiful though, man.
So I know if I fuck with a black bitch, we gonna have a black ass baby.
So
I ain't with that.
Why?
Cause I'm already black as fuck.
So
I can't. No.
Well, I mean, this is an interesting thing. You know what I mean? Like, so if you have a baby, you don't want your baby to be the same complexion as you. Why?
This is a once in a lifetime thing.
What do you mean?
Like, it's a dark ass shade. It be, hell nah. I can't have.
Is your mom same shade as you?
Nah.
She's
hell nah. I'm like caramel mocha.
Okay, so your dad is darker.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nah, that's what? You talking about? I'm black. You see that one?
So your dad is actually darker.
Yeah.
Okay. Has your mom ever said that she doesn't want her grandkids to be?
Nah. I ain't gonna lie.
Okay, so I'm gonna pause this right here. Okay, he don't want no black B. Okay, the mind has been shackled. Okay, although this man may be hard in the streets, he is weak in the mind. Okay, although his body may be strong, he is mentally broken. So I wanted to go to some of the comments, and you probably can't see some of the comments, but I found it interesting that what some people were saying regarding this video. Many men think this way. They just don't say it. Okay? Trauma. He isn't secure enough to explain that he experienced trauma related to his color. All right? This is super sad. There are more, this is more about he y'all be throwing me off. I can barely get it together myself with this dyslexia. Y'all be throwing me off how y'all be writing sometimes. This is more about how he feels about himself. I feel bad for him. And the creator. Correct. He believes that he's ugly and doesn't want a child to experience the same reason you. Okay, and with this one, he believes that he's ugly. That is a true statement because this is more of that video.
But yeah, I ain't gonna lie, I know I'm ugly too. You think you're ugly? Little piece. I still get old.
The immaturity is overwhelmingly sad, but I'm not focused on his immaturity. I'm focused on his mindset. He feels and he says he knows he's ugly. He bases beauty by color. Let me turn this back around. He bases beauty by the skin complexion. He is what those children that you seen earlier projected when they did the doll. He is that. And a lot of Black men are that. And they project that. Weakness in the mind regarding who they are as a person, and they feel that their procreation with the same race of woman, and heaven forbid that woman be of a darker hue, that in life that is somehow just unspeakable. Okay, so that is where, when I was talking and brought forth my feelings in my videos earlier about the men who are participating in gang stalking of other Black women, these men mentally and subconsciously it may be, or it may be just they outright feel this way. They have no kind of connection towards the Black woman. Okay, and so that's why I called it the new. We know the alphabet crew that they protect. If you have a different preference in your sexuality, they're going to protect that alphabet crew. But there's the new crew that are protecting each other, and I call them the ABLBM and so on crew, because it probably can add on to that crew, and it's just being that omit Black men in love with Black men, okay, and adding on to that, destroying Black women and Black communities. The chains are definitely there. Monsters have been definitely created, and I say this and I put the monsters and the Black men together because within this Bible, within these passages, it's speaking to Israel. Okay? And that's why I am speaking to Israel and the men of Israel taking part in gang stalking, taking part in the persecution of Black women and the persecution of Black men as well, who are being gang stalked. But with that being said, we have to remember the Jews sent up the Jews sent up Yahushua to be persecuted. The Jews, Israel, sent up Yahushua to be hung on the cross. Okay? So we have to just remember, if Jesus, his own people, said, give us Barabbas when they had a choice to make, give us the other nation and persecute their own people. Well, Yahushua says you're going to have to go through what he went through. Okay? His people that believe in him, whether you be of Israel, whether you be white, black, Spanish, whatever your nation is, if you believe on Yahushua, if you believe in the Most High, you are going to go through the same thing that he went through. So if you have not come or not have a form of persecution in your life, wonder, are you sitting at the table amongst a den of thieves? Because if your life is so cushiony, cozy, and all of this, and you're not going through any persecution, you're not being tried through the fire, you're not being tested in any way. And if you're looking at, people love to come at me for what I do as a career, but don't know the persecution that I go through day to day. Because they look at everyone with worldly eyes, right? People look at other people with counting numbers, counting status, but not counting up the cost that those people are going through day to day, the struggles that they go through. Of course, there's going to be different seasons in our lives, but we are in the end times, and they're not going to be always seasons of plenty. You see, you as chosen and you as TIs, you are being tested. You are being tried in the fire so that you know that you're going to come out as pure gold. A lot of people that are going to be taken, like it says in 2 Ezra chapter 5, taken, die. You see, they're not going to be strong enough to go through what is to come. See, these gang stalkers and these community harassers think that it's funny that they have hindered your income, that they've had you at an income or not at an income at all, that you may have to rely on whomever, but you're really relying on the Most High, because the Most High will send ravens to feed you. But let me not get on another platform, another soapbox. You're going through things because in the end, when the world starts to have to go through this, like I've showed you in Indonesia and all these other places where the government has just hidden their hand and taken and converted their money into this from fake printed money to fake digital money, and they can't get access to their monies nor food. Well, you see, you chosen ones, you TIs that have been going through persecution for years and years. See, you know how to go through the struggle without having. That is part of your persecution. That is part of being stripped away from a lot of worldly things. Do you understand? So while your gang stalkers and while the perps and the handlers, they are only strengthening you. You are in the gym, honey, of life, of the Most High. And you're being strengthened. And see, when you build up muscles and you work out, you see muscles rip and they tear. See, a lot of people have had things ripped and torn out of their lives. Family, money, homes, cars, ripped, torn. But yet and still, you're still standing. You see, because muscles, when they're ripped and torn, it hurts. The pain is intense, depending on how hard the Most High is exercising you. How hard the Most High is ripping and tearing those muscles and using your persecutors to rip and tear things. But it's only building up your muscle and making you stronger. That is how anything in life that is valuable, that is worth something, always has to go through some trials and tribulations to make it stronger. So when you build up muscles as in a bodybuilder or going to the gym or building up your stamina, you rip and you tear and you build and you come out stronger. Anything that, such as a diamond, is always under pressure, under great pressure. But once the pressure is relieved and the diamond is revealed, baby, it sparkles. So while your persecutors and while the people who think that they are hurting you and they laugh and they drink and enjoy this realm and keep putting the pressure on you, understand this. You are the one that is coming out in the end. And you are the one that is going to shine. You are the one that is going through the trials and tribulations that the Most High is building you up for something much greater than this realm. Just know, you don't have to be invited to the road, the broad road. Stay on your narrow road and stay focused, because it's coming swiftly, the time where the world, well, I'm going to say the United States, because parts of the world are already seeing how their government has manipulated them. Okay? How they've taken food and money from them. You see, that's coming to the United States. And these gang stalkers, they're enjoying their harvest now. But know this, everything that the caterpillar, the locust, has chewed up, everything that they have chewed and taken away, they will have to repay. And so, it's all about timing. All right, guys, let me see. Pull up some of you guys' comments. All right. Thank you. I appreciate that. Live Rogers. Hello and welcome. A Sunday service. I was just talking. I don't know if it was Sunday service. I believe it is Sabbath, which falls on Saturday. Hello, hello. Finally caught it live. What was this? That was like the Northern Lights. Oh yeah, yeah, that was the video. But yeah, it wasn't. Where are the Northern Lights at? In Australia? Not Australia. Where are the Northern Lights at? Where is it cold? Canada? No, not Canada. Y'all tell me where the Northern Lights are at. It starts with an A, I want to say. I can't think of the name right now. Suppressor is found out blue beam and B2K comes from drones. Well, I can believe that because they do use drones and things like that. My thing with that light, I know I put on the title, is this blue beam? And I know that I've shown where the government has cloud making machines. But manipulating the light in the sky, now that one, I don't know about that one. That might be something beyond their control, making it flash, like flicking on the lights on and off, me see. Well, yes, it's not just your blacks. I mean, I'm white as snow, and they still do the same. Yes, I understand. Now, I was speaking on what is going on with me and why I did two videos. I think it was three because I came back three times or something like that earlier this week. And with my gang stalking, it has been a few black men. Now I get a combination of people, but yeah. And I wanted to show within my nation of people how the mindset of, and not just black men, some black women have this mindset too, that is hidden subconsciously of self-hate. And so if you are a person that is being gang stalked and you see people of your own race gang stalking you, um, well, sometimes it wouldn't, to them, they wouldn't care regardless because they have a self-hate within them too. And I was connecting the fact that in this day and time from Second Ezra's verse, what was it, chapter 5, verse 8, that monsters would have been birthed from menstruating women. I think that it's more spiritual warfare. The whole gang stalking thing is like none of it makes sense, but it still makes sense. It's wild. Yes, I said it's spiritual warfare. If you are new here to my channel, and if you go and look down my timeline, you know that it's spiritual warfare because I've dealt with actually having to. Well, I was chased by demons, and sometimes when the Most High wakes you up, you don't realize that the Most High doesn't always um, wake you up with pleasantries. It's not always waking up you to angels that, well, and I say waking up to angels. Angels aren't like we know angels to that, like we know the main majority um, has had angels described to them. And if you look in the Bible and read the Bible, how the different levels of angels, um, you would probably perceive them to be demonic in their features, because they are not. Uh, they don't come as humans. All of them, they can. We know that they can change their appearance because we know that for a fact with Sodom and Gomorrah, when the angels came down to get Lot out of um, Sodom and Gomorrah, the city, that they appeared as men, human men, okay? But Lot knew that they were angels. But cherubim and seraphim, well, honey, they have, I want to say, let me get it right. And if I messed up, y'all go look it up. But I want to say the seraphim have four heads. A bull is the main head. They have a human head. They have a lion head. And they have a head of, I can't remember, an eagle. They have a head of an eagle. They have feet of bulls. You know how cows have split feet, and their wings, they have several wings, but the wings are lined with eyes. So if you just imagine all of that, if you didn't know, we didn't know the Bible like we know it now, the word being revealed like we know it now, well, you would think that was something demonic, right? I would. Let me not say you might not, but I would, not knowing that that's how a seraphim looks, an angel. Okay, so but it also says, so Ooh wee. I don't know if you as target individuals, as chosen ones, get high pitched ringing in your ears. Like just now, it's slowly going away. Just now, like a high pitched ringing just was in this ear. Um, I don't know if a lot of you guys. I've heard some people say that spiritual or something, but I don't know for sure what that means. I've been trying to look up what a high pitched ringing, and it's in this left ear. That's what made me look to the left a few minutes ago. I mean, a high pitched ringing just came in my ear. But yeah, so we know that angels can appear as, they can look scary if you don't know what an angel, the real description of angels, but they can shapeshift. They can look like humans. And that's why it says, be wary of who you entertain, because you may be entertaining angels. And that is so true. But look, that high pitch just kind of threw me off. I kind of got off track of why I brought up angels. Let me go back and see what I can jog my memory why I brought up angels. I think I was talking to the fact that it's trolls. Bring up your comment. If there is trolls in here, I hope God the Most High opens your eyes. But I was saying that I know that gang stalking is spiritual as well, and that the Most High is not going to always bring some kind of holy, you know how they do in movies when angels appear, it's always just light and they just look so pleasant and all of this. Sometimes he'll wake you up and it's a shaking. We have to remember when Saul was on the road to Damascus, his awakening was not pleasant. I mean, the Most High made him blind, okay? He blinded Saul and asked him, why was he persecuting his people? You understand? And so if God has a high calling on your life, that's why I say be very careful who you listen to, because sometimes people are persecuting other people, but God has a higher calling on his life or on her life, and he'll put a person on Damascus Road, okay, like he did Saul. Saul was a very strong persecutor of the Jews. I mean, he'll kill you, take you out, all of that. But he got put on Damascus Road, and that's when Jesus asked him why was he persecuting his people, made him blind, and then sent him to a city, told him who to meet in the city. And once he met that particular person, the scales fell off of his eyes. So now he can see. A lot of people can't see. And that's why you have a lot of people who don't believe, because they can't see. They are like Saul. Okay, and if God doesn't call them, then they too will join that broad road. But you have people that are in the truth, or people that have awakened to the truth, and I tell you, they say they don't have the spirit of church or the spirit of religion, but when you listen to them and when you listen to their preachings or their teachings, they have the spirit of religion written all over them, because they've come into the truth, they come into the awakening, but they're still looking down on people, like people that you know, those church people that always would give you that I'm higher and mightier than you because I am in church and I believe in God. Well, you have that now with people who have been awakened. That church spirit is all over them. And some people just like that church spirit. You know, when the big boom happened with all these mega churches, that's what I was talking about, numbers and timing, God's timing, and don't get fooled by just because someone has a large platform or a large number of people that are following them, because that was the boom of the deceptional boom within the church. These mega churches, you know, across the nation. Who do we have? We had T.D. Jakes, these mega churches. We had what is the guy's name that was in Houston? When the floods hit Houston, he didn't want them to come in his church, but he's a man of God. What was his name? And I used to watch him too. He was a white guy. I can't remember his name, but he had a mega church, and I mean, so if you're not paying attention, the powers that be know that people are coming out of the church, right? People are coming out of the church. They're coming out of these mega churches, and where deception is following numbers. Okay, people follow and join mega churches because of numbers, right? Wanting to be a part of a big group, the most popular group, the group that was, you know, looking like they were doing something because their numbers kept growing. The Most High is going to bring the people to your platform who needs to hear the message, a true message. It is not about numbers. The people are leaving the churches, but the people who still have that churchy religious spirit on them, it's still about the numbers for them. Okay? And so they'll leave the churches and they'll cling on to these bigger platforms and praise give praise to people who have large numbers of people who follow them, and give them praise as if these people are the truth tellers, the truth bearers, the witness of the Most High, when that is the same thing that happened when you had these mega churches and people were thinking these are the truth bearers, the people of the Most High. And now you see that people are coming out of the church and people are seeing that, no, these people weren't the truth bearers. Okay? But it's shifting to your online platforms, and it's almost like the new mega church. It is the new mega church. They won't believe your message if you don't have numbers behind when they click on your page. And if you're a person that is speaking with the Most High God has given you to speak, if they don't see the numbers under your name, then they don't think the message is true. Or because first of all, people want to be fed. They want to be spoon fed. They don't want to study to show themselves approved. They want somebody who has a huge following and name to feed them, and they just eat it up. They just eat it up as that being um, the end all be all, basically. You know. So you have to study for yourself. And once you study for yourself, then you know, that is how you'll know if truth is being said or if truth is not. But if you're just looking for numbers, then it is what it is. So let me see. Alaska. Okay. That's right. Alaska. The video I just shown. Yeah. The northern lights are in Alaska. Thank you, Pat. Um, that's a good question. What do you think about 40 days of 40 days of 40-day and night fasting? It depends. Fasting, first and foremost, it's a it's one of our weapons within the spiritual realm. Okay, one of our weapons to be used. So it depends on what you're fasting for. Now, if there's nothing wrong with fasting 40 days and 40 nights, right? Because Jesus did it, but everybody um, may not be able to do 40 days and 40 nights of fasting. But fasting is something that is really not to be shown and told that you're fasting to people, um, because then you're just showing of yourself. You understand? But fasting is to be used as a weapon, because when you fast, you are relinquishing the pleasures. You are taming this flesh, and you are getting more spiritual powers to fight whatever's coming against you. But let me say this: when you fast, you see, like we already know, gang stalkers. I mean, we are the celebrities of the spiritual realm as far as Chosen and T.I.'s, what that young lady said in her video that I shared with you guys. We are the celebrities of this realm. They watching you for a reason, okay? They're mad because you haven't stumbled yet. So you are the celebrities, right? But when you fast, not only are these physical gang stalkers watching you, but these monitoring spirits are watching you too, so they can report back to the Most High. I mean, so they can report back to Satan that, yeah, well, she's fasting or he's fasting. You see, that's ringing the alarm in the satanic kingdom, that they will start to rev up their efforts. Okay, because see, not only do saints or people who worship the Most High fast, I mean worship, the Most High fast, but you have witches and warlocks and people who worship the demonic, the devil. They fast, but see, they have to do it. You said 40 days and 40 nights. They have to do it 80 days and 80 nights. They have to do it 100 days and 100 nights. If you're a child of the Most High, just to compete, just to keep trying to keep you oppressed, you see. But once they see you fasting and praying, they're going to try to send more and more troubles your way. So you have to, when you start that, you have to know that you're going to get spiritual powers, but the evil folks, they're going to be coming after you as well, you know. So let me see. Oh, somebody said something. Let me see. Yeah, those high pitched noises, I've had those before. Okay. I believe they're more common than most people think. Now, so like I said, I was researching because I have never, ever had ringing in my ears before. And it just started like last year. And so it's not in both ears, because I even went, I think on here, if I didn't delete the video, I went to the doctor regarding my ears. I was like, well, what is it? Is it an ear infection or what? And that's when, but the ringing is in the left ear. And it's a high pitched ringing, because some people said it could be tinnitus. Is it tinnitus, which is a health issue with your ears. But with tinnitus, most likely you get it in both ears, and it's constant. Tinnitus doesn't come and go. You see what I'm saying? This ringing, it comes and it goes. So from what I've researched so far, and I haven't really gone in depth, and let me put this up here while I'm talking, gone in depth about the ringing in my ears or anything like that with studying it. But from what I did read about it, people were saying it's a spiritual, like if it's a different tone of ringing in your ear, it could be a spiritual being in your presence. So the higher the pitch and the longer the pitch is, that is a higher being from the Most High. But if the ringing and the pitch is like of a duller, like, I'm just gonna give an example, like ooh, our duller pitch of ringing, that could be demonic. So I don't know. I have to research that, and I can say that I could believe that, because I know for myself about experiencing demonic entities and experiencing, and I don't want you all to think that I've only experienced demonic entities and only have taken note of demonic entities, because that's not true, because I know that I've experienced heavenly beings as well. And so in the form of humans. And let me see, about four times. Let me see. Yes, about 4 times. And one time, I'm going to give you for an example. And I had said before, hold on, guys. I had said before, be careful who you entertain, because you just may be entertaining a heavenly host, right? So this is when I lived in my old apartment. I had came home from work really quick, because I had to get something from my from the apartment I had left. So I pulled in, and I'm not saying that I'm always on point with observing my surroundings, but for the most part I am. And so I pull into the apartment complex, right? And I pull in, and I get out really quick. Now, guys, as I pulled into this apartment complex and I got out and I turned around, as soon as I turned around, there was a young black teenage girl standing. Like, I had literally got out the car, opened the door, got out the car, and I got out quick because I was rushing, right? Trying to get home, get what I need and go. So I got out really quick. It was too fast, because for anybody to have walked up, it was as if she appeared out of nowhere, because it kind of startled me, because I turned around and she was there, a teenage girl. And so she says, "Excuse me, ma'am." She says, "Can I ask you for some help, for some assistance?" And I was like, "Okay." And with me, and if you know my story, I with people, and this is before I even knew about any gifts that I had, I can sense people. I can sense who you are before you open your mouth. Okay? And that being here present, or across these portals that we're looking at each other at through now, these phones. So there was no sense of evilness coming off of her, no sense of deception, nothing. It was um, just like level. It's hard to explain how when I feel your spirit. Um, so when I turned around and she asked me, could I help her? Could I assist her? And I was like, yeah, what's wrong? Because I got that sense of something was wrong, not. And so she was like, can I ask you, can I take a shower? Can I wash up? And it struck me. And this story is so true that I have a witness to this story, because I was like, can you wash up? And she was like, yes, can I take a shower? And then it almost made my heart sink. Okay. Whoop, y'all, I be trying not to get emotional. And it almost made my heart sink when she asked me, could she take a shower? And I was like, yeah, honey. And now, mind you guys, I was in a rush. I was like, I had to get back to the office. So I said, okay, yes, follow me. And I don't advise you guys to be doing this, because you might not be able to sense people or have a discernment about people. So I'm just telling you an experience that I had. One of many experiences that I had that I have not shared with you guys, dealing with heavenly beings. So we walk around, and I call my mom on the phone, when I get into the apartment, and I said, hold on. I gave her some, like a towel to wash, just the necessities to take a shower with. And she said, ma'am, do you have like socks and a, I tried. This is probably why I never told these stories, because it brings tears to my eyes. She said, "Do you have clothes, basically, to change it to?" Now she's a teenage child. She was smaller than me, but I did have like some T-shirts and stuff that just didn't fit me. Like, when you buy stuff, you think it's gonna fit, whatever. And so, as she goes in to take a shower, I go to look for her some clothes to change into. And when I go through that, she goes to take the shower. That's when I called my mom on the phone, and I said, I'm just calling you because we hear stories of people casing your house and things of that nature, right? Sending women. They love to send women, and because they love to send somebody who may appear to be weaker, so other women can trust them, right? So then the doubt started to creep in. I'm like, if something happened, I'm helping this young girl. I'm letting her take a shower. And my mom's like, oh, okay, well, stay on the phone. And so I just left the phone on. And I went and I got the young girl some clothes and everything, gave it to her. So she took a shower and everything. And I said, well, what is going on? I said, where do you live? She said, across the street. And I was like, oh, she said, I was late for school and I need to go to school. And I was like, oh, what? I asked her what school she went to. And then I took her to school. And I wrote down my phone number and I gave it to her. And I was like, if anything you need, give me a call. And she was like, oh, thank you. And so as I was driving away, I was trying to watch her walk into the school. I was trying to watch her to see where she was going, if she was going to go into to the school. So I turned the wheel and I was watching her, and then I had to turn that, you have to look, and I had to look to see, and make sure I wasn't hitting nobody. I turned back around. She hadn't gone to the door, and the way the school was, she just disappeared, y'all. True story. Disappeared. I never heard from her again. So that's why I say there are different, you in your life will come across different entities. And that's why it says in the Bible, be careful, because you never know who you are entertaining. Okay. There was one other incident, and they come in different forms. Um, um, and I believe that this was an angel, a heavenly being, came in a young child's form, needing help. Okay, um, whatever you go through in life, I know I had to take some people on a trip um, with my job, uh, and I was uneasy about going on this trip. It was a nice trip and it was sponsored. It was really nice, but I was uneasy and about going on this trip, and it was on a train. And so as as you know, I got everybody checked in. You know, the winners, the whoever the station was, the talent, everybody comfortable. I kind of sat in the back of the train before I went back in to the group of people, because you know it's their hype. You know, it's a lot of hype going on. Everybody's excited, but sometimes for me, I had to take a breather away from people, and then you know, because my energy, y'all, my energy. So I went and I sat in the back of the train, and there was a black attendee. Um, I don't know what they call the train people that come. So I'm just say attendee. They come and ask you, "Are you okay?" They check your tickets and all of that. And so I was sitting there, and she came. She said, "Hey, are you all right?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, yeah, I'm fine." And so she proceeds. I'm sitting on an aisle, and you know, it's the aisles, the seats by the owl. There's the owl, and I'm sitting here. She walks up between the owls, and she asked me, "Am I all right?" And I was like, "Yeah." So as she asked me this question, she just sits down, and she you know, she started talking about her daughter had to go some. She gave a story about her daughter having to go and do something, but she was protected, blase, blase. And I was like, "Oh, okay." At the time, I wasn't putting it together, y'all. And so, and she said, "Well, I just wanted to sit here and talk to I just want to sit here. I just want to sit here for a minute and talk to you, let you know everything is going to be okay and that you are protected." And I was like, "Oh, I appreciate that. I appreciate that." And I said, "You know, we're here on a trip." And I told her what hotel we were staying in. She said, "Oh, all of the attendees who work this particular train, they stay in that hotel as well." And I kind of knew that because it was a deal that I made with this train. And y'all know, if I'm talking about a train, there's one major train that runs throughout the United States. Um, they stayed at this particular hotel as well. You know how pilots and their flight attendants stay at hotels, particular ones. Same with these workers. So I told her, I said, "Well, there's an event later on tonight. If you would like to attend with us, you know, I'll get you in and everything since you're going to be at the same hotel." And she said, "Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you so much." And so um, we go to the hotel, check in, do, you know, I'm asking around to the people, the other attendees that worked that train. Nobody knew who I was talking about. Um, I was like, okay. So then I got on the train because she said she had to go back, you know, the way, because it's like that's their job, like air flight attendees. They take you to Vegas or whatever, and then they have a layover, and then they come back on that same flight. Okay, so she was coming back when we were coming back, but when I got on the train, I was looking for her to talk to her again. Nobody knew this woman. This woman never appeared again, guys. So this is what I say when you might meet people, or people come into your life. You might think it's just an ordinary event, but it's not always a gang stalker, or it can be a heavenly host as well. So let me see. So just and I got on that subject. Pat was talking about fasting and different things like that. Yeah, you're gonna You're going to fast get more powers, but the enemy is going to come after you more as well. So, um, just like what I had went all the way down to the end of this, and I was reading this. Why would this guy say you're not chosen? How would he know? Like Tupac, only God can judge me. um and so I had to go back up and see. I didn't see that comment. This dude right here, these probably are perps, but you are not chosen, Nikki Nicole Talks. I'm mad because I'm on your channel saying that you are not chosen. Yeah, so let them say what they want to say. Let them speak on how they want to speak. They're watching us. You know, he took the time out to type that. So you tell me, when somebody's trying to pull somebody down, they go out their way to get on somebody else's channel and type things of that nature, right? Um, you be the judge. And whatever sits in your heart, let it resonate. So, okay, guys, I think I hit all of the talking points in the title today. And I'm going to get off of here, and much, much love.